A Day on the Focus, with Anne. Hello, history buffs and casual listeners alike. Welcome to another exciting episode, focusing on March 24th. Buckle up, because today's historical timeline is a roller coaster. First off, let's go way back. 1199, King Richard the Lionheart, the dude from Robin Hood legends, though probably not quite that heroic, gets nailed by a crossbow bolt in France. Ouch. Didn't kill him immediately, but it certainly put a damper on his crusade, and ultimately led to his death. Talk about a bad day at the office. Fast forward a bit to 1603. Double whammy. Elizabeth I kicks the bucket, ending the Tudor era. Simultaneously, James VI of Scotland becomes James I of England, uniting the crowns, and probably making a few folks very, very happy, or very, very unhappy, depending on their political leanings, of course. Same year, the Tokugawa shogunate is established in Japan. Quite a year for new beginnings and endings. Then we've got 1765, the Quartering Act. Basically, Great Britain told the 13 colonies, "Hey, nice place you got here, we're gonna park our troops in your homes." You can imagine how well that went over. Spoiler alert, not well. Jumping ahead, 1829, Catholics in the UK finally get some political representation. About time. But hold on, the same year sees some pretty unfortunate events. In Ohio, Joseph Smith, founder of the Mormon Church, gets a really rough welcome from some less than friendly locals. Talk about a baptism by fire, literally and figuratively. 1882 is a big one for science. Robert Koch discovers the bacteria that causes tuberculosis, a breakthrough that laid the foundation for combating this deadly disease. The 20th century brings us a whole new batch of historical craziness. 1944. The Great Escape, a daring breakout from a German POW camp. Authority. The movie is pretty good, but the real story? Even more thrilling. A little later that same year, there's a brutal massacre of Italian civilians in Rome by German troops. A stark reminder of the horrors of war. And 1976? Argentina falls under a brutal military dictatorship. 7 years of awful. So we've gone from crossbow bolts to dictatorships, from scientific breakthroughs to wartime atrocities. Quite the ride, isn't it? Now for our fictional twist on this day's events. Imagine this: Richard the Lionheart, somehow transported to the present, finds himself attending a stuffy British Parliament session, witnessing a debate. He's confused. No glorious battles, just people arguing about budgets. The MPs look utterly shocked when he tries to explain the finer points of medieval warfare, punctuated with stories of siege weaponry that would make modern arms control treaties very, very uncomfortable indeed. Meanwhile, the ghost of Joseph Smith pops up in the background, observing with bemusement. A truly anachronistic day. The Lionheart, frustrated with the lack of excitement, sighs and mutters, "At least there's no crossbow bolts around here," before getting lost in the modern-day tube system. That's all the time we have for today, folks. Join us tomorrow for another fascinating journey through history, here on A Day on the Focus. Goodbye.